Hello, dear ones. It is with immense joy that I welcome you to another meeting here in our space of reflection and personal growth. Today, we will address a topic that has been a constant in the messages I receive from you, something deeply linked to the process of self-knowledge. This subject, in addition to being a recurring doubt, is also surrounded by misconceptions that our mind creates, often as a way to distance us from this essential work. But before we delve into this discussion, I want to make a special request. If you identify with the content we share here, if the videos have been useful in your journey, please leave your like and subscribe to the channel to follow more reflections that can illuminate your path. Now, let's get to the central theme of today. Many people have come to me with a question that, although it may seem simple, carries immense depth. Why should I dedicate myself to the work of self-knowledge? Why would I need to deny the simple fact of being here, as if my existence in the world were a mistake, something that needs to be corrected? This question, which at first glance may seem philosophical, actually reflects a common confusion that many of us face when starting this journey of inner discovery. The work of self-knowledge is not about denying our existence or considering that being in the world is a mistake. On the contrary, it is an invitation to understand who we truly are, beyond the masks we wear and the roles we play in daily life. It is a process that allows us to recognize our potential, our fears, our limitations, and most importantly, our deepest desires. When we talk about self-knowledge, we're talking about connecting with our essence, with what makes us unique and special. However, it is common for our mind to create resistance to this process. After all, looking within ourselves can be challenging. We face fears, insecurities, and even the feeling that we are not ready to deal with what we might discover. But that is precisely why self-knowledge is so important. It allows us to face these barriers, not to punish ourselves or make us feel inadequate, but to free us from the shackles that prevent us from living fully. When we ask ourselves, why should I do this? We are, in fact, questioning the value of our own existence. And the answer is simple, because you deserve to know yourself. You deserve to understand what moves you, what makes you happy, what brings you peace. Self-knowledge is not an easy path, but it is a path worth taking. It allows us to live with more awareness, more purpose, and above all, with more love for ourselves. So, dear ones, I invite you to reflect on this. The work of self-knowledge is not a denial of your existence, but a celebration of it. It is an opportunity to reconnect with your true essence and discover what really matters to you. And remember, you are not alone on this journey. We are here, together, seeking the freedom to be who we truly are. When we talk about the ego's thought system, it is important to understand that most of the time, we are not truly present in the here and now. Our mind is constantly wandering in illusions, traveling through times that do not exist. It's rare to find someone who is completely connected to their body and the present moment. The mind is always busy, whether reminiscing about past events, planning the future, or protecting itself from hypothetical situations that only exist in its imagination. This constant mental wandering distances us from reality, making it so that although we have a physical body in the world, our mind is somewhere else. When we approach the idea of abandoning the world, we are talking about letting go of the thought system that takes us out of the state of presence. The state of presence is only possible when we let go of the idea of the world created by the mind, which makes us attribute excessive value to everything that happens around us. This state of presence only arises when the mind is no longer occupied with past traumas or future worries. It is a state of full consciousness, where we are totally connected to the present moment. Believing that the work of self-knowledge is a problem or that we are running away from something is an illusion created by the ego. This false idea is a strategy of the ego to keep us trapped in a cycle of suffering and prevent us from advancing in our journey of self-knowledge. The ego preaches this lie to convince us that we do not need to enough fine as we are. But the truth is that the work of self-knowledge leads us to a healthy detachment, helping us to stop overvaluing everything around us and to connect with our inner essence. When we begin to value what really matters, our essence, we find two things that we often seek in the external world: completeness and happiness. The feeling that something is missing in our life, whether it is a person, money, or achievements, disappears when we connect with our true essence. Happiness, which we often project into future achievements, can only be found in the present when we are in contact with our essence. This is the true peace and happiness which do not depend on external circumstances. The state of presence is the antidote to the mental wandering that distances us from reality. No one is truly present. We have bodies that move through the world, but our minds are traveling in dreams, each one trapped in their own beliefs and illusions. When we talk about letting go of the world, we are not suggesting that you should abandon your responsibilities, relationships, or daily activities. On the contrary, we are talking about being truly present in everything you do, whether at work, in relationships, or in family life. Imagine walking down a busy avenue and observing the people around you. Each one is trapped in their own mind, worried about their wanderings and illusions. If you are truly present, connected to the current moment, when we are present, we recognize the distance between us and the illusions of the mind, and we can live more authentically and consciously. So, dear ones, I invite you to reflect on this. The work of self-knowledge is not about abandoning the physical world, but about abandoning the illusions created by the mind. It is about being truly present in your life, connected to your essence and the present moment. And you, how have you been dealing with these issues? When someone is truly present, you can feel that this person carries a different energy, an inner strength that keeps them firm, like an unshakable rock. This is the state of presence, a state of full consciousness that nothing can take away from them. If you have ever had doubts about the work of self-knowledge, I want to make it clear that it is not an escape from reality or a denial of being here. On the contrary, it is an invitation for you to be truly present, because most of us are not. While the mind operates from a false thought system created by the ego, we are not truly connected to the present moment. If the thought system is false, the foundations of that system are also false, and consequently, the goals you create for your life are also illusory. Nothing that has a false foundation can work in a lasting way. It may seem to work for a while, but it is fragile, like a house of cards that quickly collapses. Now, when you build your life from a real foundation, from an inner truth, everything changes. For example, if you define as a goal, no matter what happens, I want this relationship, this job, or even my relationship with the manicurist to help me find happiness, truth, and remember who I truly am. That is a real and powerful goal. It will guide you in a deep and meaningful way. On the other hand, the ego will not suggest goals like that. The ego will say, my goal is to have $1 million, because when I achieve that, I will be happy. But happiness is not in the future. It is in the now. When you seek happiness in a place that does not exist, like a hypothetical future, you will never find it. Even if you manage to achieve the $1 million, the ego will immediately direct your attention to another goal, like a relationship or a new achievement. And so, you continue chasing something that never arrives, because happiness is not in the external world. This is the ego's motto. Seek, but do not find. Why? Because you are looking in the wrong place. All the goals we set, whether money, relationships, or achievements, have a common objective: the search for happiness. But happiness is not in the world. It is in the completeness you find when you connect with your essence. Along with this connection, you also reach the state of presence, a state that nothing can shake. When you are present, you become magnetically attractive. The people around you perceive that there is something different about you, something that reminds them of a place they themselves have forgotten, but that has always been within them. Everything you do in this state flows naturally, with results that are much more effective than when the mind is connected to the ego. You receive immediate validation from the people around you because you are delivering what you truly are, your essence. And in doing so, you feel good, complete, and at peace. So, dear ones, I invite you to reflect on this. The work of self-knowledge is not about escaping the world, but about being truly present in it. It is about building a life from a real foundation, connected to your essence, and not to the illusions of the ego. And you, how have you been dealing with these issues? Share in the comments, because the exchange of experiences is a fundamental part of this process. And of course, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to follow more content like this. Until next time, with much love and gratitude.